It's to you. Kev Gills, I got you on me. Yeah, man. Welcome to the You Have a Seat. The only professor applying pressure when he teach. Big cloud in these YouTube streets. I cheat like Wiz Khalifa. Call it in if you gon' speak. Press 1 when you checking in. I got the merch, cop a coffee, a kush shirt. Support the brand if you support the man. With the spirit of Steve Coakley, they can't hold me. Back them down and fade away on them like I'm Kobe. Only straight shooter on this computer. Who else you know gon' bring it to your real truther? Hallelujah. More haters, more moderators. Get yourself timed out for making outlandish statements. Yeah, ain't no playing. Bungalow 54 is where you'll go with the herd. I got no patience. Either for God or you love Satan. It's reclassification over entertainment. It's to you. Everybody wanna have a school, but it's for you. Care less what a hater say you do. It's for you. Press 1 if you support, if you don't press 2. It's for you. Teach nothing over here but the living truth. It's for you. Press 1, press 1, press 1, press 1.
Lord have mercy.
Press 1,
Lord
press
have
1, press 1.
I was up thinking about what I was going to do first thing in the morning. Got a great lecture lined up, of course. But, you know, I woke up from a nap, of course, and really don't have too much to do else. But I can play video games, or I can get back on the computer and do YouTube videos. So I decided to go live and talk about the Candace Owens situation. So God bless y'all who was up. What up with you, said? Shout out to my moderators, Amanda, Shiva, Pop Deuce. What up with it? Taj, good to see you, champion. Yes, sure. Okay, I did want to go over these videos because, like Candace, I am a conspiracy person. I love disproving these damn conspiracies or approving them. I don't care as long as there's a great discussion to have. Whether you believe conspiracies or you don't, that's on you. I like the conversation. I like to see people going back and forth. So what's been going on the internet is Candace has been hinting at the fact that planes have been following Charlie, and Charlie this and Charlie that, and the Egyptians was following Charlie. Then she gets an email or some type of text message, who knows, from somebody somewhere in her book club or CIA, which is Candace's little investigation team. But from this hangar, which was disclosed, and the French rented it out, and they want control of the airport, and they took a plane from Delaware to Utah to Arizona. The exact movements of Erika and Charlie, you know, and these are things that will grasp the mind of those who are asleep and looking for a home mentally, you know. So they bounce around conspiracies, and they're so willing to follow these people, even off the cliff. Don't matter where it is, they willing to just follow, do whole videos approving of these people. And then they find out they just as culpable as anybody else. So from the license plates to the Egyptian planes, we're going to talk about it right here on KevRow. I hope that you guys are ready, because this stuff right here, listening to Candace is like, it's very excruciating. It's hard to listen to. The conspiracies go on and on and on. And I think she's running out. She's run out. And the lawsuits is about to start flying across here, and she got to shut up, you know. So it's time to bring back all these other conspiracies that she's been working on this whole time, and Macron and all of this stuff, because this is a dub. This is rap, and I think her followers are going to be highly disturbed, especially at my shit. So let's take a listen to what she was saying about the flights that took place.
He secured the SD cards. Okay. It was something that I noticed that the rest of the world would not have taken as a concrete fact. It is also how I felt, and I'm sharing this with you now for a reason, when I learned that Charlie flew into Salt Lake City that morning. Because why didn't he fly into the much closer Provo airport? Now, ostensibly, The answer is because he had an interview with a person that nobody really knows. He's a managing director of a restaurant fund. Andrew K. Smith, out of nowhere, does this restaurantology interview with Charlie. And so Charlie flew into Salt Lake to make this interview happen. That, to me, felt like an oddity, okay? Because in a typical scenario, Charlie
oddity, not an oddity.
is not going to be incentivized to go out of his way because he would only do it, actually, if there was a big donor on the hook, and maybe that's what he was told, this guy's going to give a ton of money to Turning Point USA, or B, because it was a major political person. Otherwise, for the sake of a podcast, people travel to Charlie, okay? If you want to get Charlie, you're going to travel to Charlie to make that happen. He's not going to go out of his way. To me, the common thing that always happened was they would set up an interview in an empty room at the campus. At UVU campus, they would have had this guy in the corner, and Charlie would have flown into Provo. So I felt, again, didn't share it at this time.
Provo is the airport.
That they diverted Charlie Kirk to Salt Lake City for a reason. Okay? Something else you should know about Charlie is Charlie was obsessed with planes. Okay? My husband and him actually shared this in common.
Yeah, your husband knows a lot about airplanes, maintenance, schedules, flights. Press one. Your husband, Candace, knows a lot about airplanes. And he should be able to tell where a plane was, where it went, where it should be, what's the maintenance on it, when they didn't go out of service. Listen to it.
Where every time we'd board a plane, Charlie would know exactly, like, way too many facts about the plane.
Look, where it was going, what it does, what type of plane it is, where it was brought in from, where it left, who bought it.
Plane. If we were boarded an old American Airlines flight, he'd be like, oh, they actually took these planes out of service in the 1970s. He just had a lot of Snapple facts when it came to planes, something that I just do not dedicate.
Don't you find that suspicious that these people emailing her know everything about planes, and so does her husband?
Any of my time into learning about. He really liked planes and knowing everything about them. And more crucially, I want you guys to understand this, Charlie had a photographic memory. He did. Donor names, emails, numbers. Charlie Kirk was a walking Excel sheet. You'd walk into a room, he'd say,
He was a walking Excel sheet? Like the Excel sheet you put up with all of the flight logs on them? Press what? Remember that sheet she put up? That Excel sheet? Y'all don't remember that? You know, with all the flights on them. That was Excel.
that's so-and-so, 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 so-and-so. He works for so-and-so. She works for so-and-so. They gave this much last year. That is why
I think that's George.
He was able to turn Turning Point USA
68, not the 73.
into
right.
a successful machine because of his memory. It was unbelievable.
68 logs. Who will be able to do that? Charlie and Georgie. Hit the like button and subscribe.
That's all going to be relevant now, okay?
Why?
So you have to remember that
Why she even brought up her husband? Because her husband is more than likely the one just like Charlie. So she supplemented something here. There's no reason to bring up her husband. Just like my husband is a flight and he knows all of this. Charlie is I think George is a walking Excel sheet. I think Charlie is an advertising firm. I think sponsors want people to sign up to their little crooked mortgage schemes and college schemes of refinancing, reprivatizing your loans. That's what Turning Point is about. They're working for a whole different company who's already getting investigated by the feds, and that's coming.
Charlie landed into Salt Lake City at
Bet you didn't know that one.
9:23 a.m. local time. I suspect that if he had instead landed into Provo, he would have recognized the blue Egyptian plane.
Oh.
Okay? It's not every day.
Why? Because the blue Egyptian plane, Turning Point being using? What about, I mean, since you were at Turning Point, have you ever used a plane that was decommissioned by Egypt, Candace, while you were at Turning Point to suggest Turning Point knows this plane? You must know this plane.
That you see an Egyptian military craft.
Crazy, right?
It is now my well-informed opinion that he would have looked at that plane and he would have recognized the blue plane and he would have instantly realized that something was amiss.
Why? Why, Candace? Why? You know, he probably would have said, that's that plane Candace be on. That's that plane George and them be on. Why would he recognize that plane? How?
And now I'm going to explain to you very carefully why I suspect that it is highly likely that Charlie would have recognized that plane.
Okay, Candace, tell us, handler.
Okay, tail number SUBND, the blue plane.
Tail number BUSBD. How you know all this? Press 1.
A pregnant mommy sleuth who was locked into this investigation
More likely you.
discovered something that me and my team had missed.
You and your husband, George, missed. Press 1, you and your husband. I'm stop playing with these people.
Consider her, obviously, and all of you to be my decentralized intelligence
No. It's just you and Georgie.
agents. Anyway, she sent me a rather urgent email, and I'm obviously protecting her identity for reasons that are
Because it's you.
clear. But I want you to know that this discovery is due entirely to her. She is the person that, in this regard, went max for Charlie.
So she can blame, went max for Charlie. Who other than you?
I missed something.
How you missed something?
Email stated
she fine because she's a mommy sleuth.
in effect that I was only partially right about the plane tracking
Not wrong. I was only partially right. Why? Because she finna watch this one.
Charlie, that she had done an additional 15 hours of research
15 hours. Where's the proof? Where is this?
and was able to discern that the person the planes were actually tracking for years was Erika.
That's crazy that a plane that's been tracking Erika for years. You didn't know about this? You the one who introduced Erika to Charlie. Honey pot. But you are the one who introduced, interesting, tracking Erika and Charlie for years. Think about this, y'all. Years. That's her again. Years. Maybe because y'all was on those planes, Candace. You know the fin. I don't know the tail number of no damn plane. Press 1. Unless I've been on them frequently. So now that I'm listening to what Candace is saying, I had a day off of the conspiracy show last night just to go back in. Let's go.
Not Charlie, but Erika was the one being tracked by these planes. And
It was Erika being tracked by these planes.
indeed, it turns out that she was correct. She discovered that between 2022 and
That's you.
September of 2025, both of those aircrafts, SUBTT, the yellow plane, and SUBND, the blue plane, showed 68 overlaps
From where?
with Erika's documented locations. Okay?
Oh, why is she stuttering? Seems excessive, right? Somebody's either stalking and well, let's go.
68 overlaps. I have since been able to add now 73 times that this overlapped. Okay.
73 times.
And 29 of those instances also happened to include Charlie. Charlie was
Oh, so out of the 40 something you do, scratch that, only 20 went to Charlie. The rest of them was going to, make sure you write this down, fraud department. G14 classified. Make sure you write this down because we got a hell of a program.
was also present. And that's what I was stumbling upon when I was looking into this. I was like, why is this plane where Charlie is? The flights.
Why is this plane? I said this yesterday, day before yesterday. Maybe because y'all at Turning Point use these planes. I don't know. And look at this shit. Now that I'm really thinking about it, stay with me here.
Were majority
Let me cook.
clustered within 5 states: Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, Delaware, and Utah.
Delaware. Huh? Wait. Let's go back. Where, Candace?
And 29 of those instances also happened to include Charlie. Charlie was also present. And that's what I was stumbling upon when I was looking into this. I was like, why is this plane where Charlie is? The flights were majority clustered within 5 states: Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, Delaware, and Utah. And it's a pattern that she believes is statistically not random. I'm telling you this information has been completely verified. I am showing you this on a spreadsheet now. These are all the instances in which this.
Is this the mind that Charlie had? What? Or George? Put it in the chat room. Is this the mind of Charlie or George? See, one thing about me, I listen. See, is this spreadsheet the mind of Charlie or George? And since Charlie's no longer with us, who else got a photogenic memory like a damn spreadsheet? And I know a lot of people don't even know what spreadsheet is. Is this right here on the screen? See, she preps you before. She preps a good one on you. Real subtle. Real fucking subtle. George. Thank you. Thank you. George. You can't blame Charlie because Charlie not here. She just says some mommy sleuth. I doubt that it's a mommy sleuth that can put things like this together, Candace. And since you don't know too much about planes, and you admitted it, and you don't know too much, who's doing this? Put it in the chat room. Who you think made this up? Was able to look at a sheet and say all the planes was following Kirk, Erika, not George, not Charlie, Erika. You got to stay on Erika. It's on Erika. Press 1. Who you think doing that? George. He knows. She already spilled the beans. He knows all this shit. He can put this shit together. And my conspiracy and my theory is George. Let's continue on.
Plane, 68 instances that this plane crossed with Erika.
Who you think scrolling? George, probably.
I'm also going to say this includes overseas as well. Okay.
Overseas.
So my instant question becomes.
So the planes is overlapping him overseas as well. Because that's y'all planes. That don't make no sense. Kirk over the ocean and the Egyptian planes over the ocean too. Right over him. And then he lands there. They're following him everywhere. We're looking at all of where he places he been. And we're finding out that this plane has been all over the world following. What? Unless you know these planes. Let's go. I'm not a fool.
Why didn't Turning Point acknowledge that this plane was familiar to them?
Why you not telling the truth? You're familiar with the planes because you're the Turning Point Mason. Press 1. You build Turning Point. Head of communications. Head of communications. Press 1. Head of communication at Turning Point. You. Well, you know that was her job title. Head of communications. When
I was taking all of these figurative online bullets, someone could.
When
easily said something, right? That's kind of a repeat thing in this investigation. Josh Hammer lies, I get attacked, Turning Point just stay silent. They know he's lying, but they allow the lie to flow. Alex,
you do the most attacking to anybody. Anybody responds, you feel attacked and go live against them. This is an easy format. That's easy to do.
Clark lies, I get attacked, I'm telling the truth. Turning Point knows it, but they kind of allow this like Catholic thing, lie to flow.
The Catholic lie to flow. You're a Catholic. I don't understand you.
And the influencers are allowed to lie. Nobody at Turning Point ever just steps to clarify that I'm onto something or I'm telling the truth about something. And when it comes to these Egyptian flights, the math on this is indisputable.
The math on what? See how she just flipped back to the flights? The math on these flights are indisputable. Listen.
There is less than a...
She didn't even say anything. They just been following them. And since the plane's been following them, it's less than what?
A 0.000000001% probability.
That what?
Okay, under random distribution models, that these Egyptian planes coincidentally landed around Erika at these times.
That's right. So it couldn't be they just around. They landed. Come on now, that's a new entry. But I thought they were just following. Okay, so now you're saying they're landing around Erika. Maybe in 2002. You were Turning Point. You just said earlier why isn't Turning Point saying anything? They know these planes, insinuating they know these planes. Why? Maybe they don't individually. Maybe you do. Maybe the higher ups do, like you and Charlie and others.
Like I said, this plane was not just with her in America. It was also tracking her overseas as well.
So they had to know where she was. Yes.
I flagged this because I was alarmed because I thought it was tracking Charlie. And I am telling you that this plane, in addition to Charlie and primarily actually was tracking Erika. Now, let's get to the day.
Primarily. Now, where's the proof on that?
The assassination.
How do we know it's not them flying around? How do we know that's not a Egyptian plane, but in America? Like, meaning the plane was bought from Egypt, but it rides in America, private or some sort, and it's an American owners now or some shit.
On the day of Charlie's assassination, we know the yellow plane took off in the morning, but the blue plane did not take off in the morning. The blue plane, SUBND, did, however, power on. And I want to be very clear as to what I mean when I say that this plane was on. I am saying that it was transponding.
How? Like,
okay,
how she knows that? How does she know that without George? Press one. How would she know this without George? How the hell could she know this? Woman just this. I don't know nothing about planes, but I know it was transponding. I know it was transponding on the tarmac.
It's transponding at the FBO at Duncan Aviation, a private terminal. So at the very least, they powered up the electronics. At most, they fully powered it on and the engine was running. What we know for certain is that it did not move from the FBO. Did not
That's George.
move. It was just on and transponding. And I want you to recognize, I'm going to make it clear for you what are the times that they were transponding. It's 2 times, and I'm going to tell you those times, but first I'm going to have Mark pull this up and he can tell us what it is that we're looking at here and how we were able to find this information about the jet that was just sitting at the FBO.
Yeah, so it looks like, based on this information that I found, and I had to figure out how to use this website because my mother didn't take enough Tylenol when she was pregnant with me, so I can't get too detailed on it. But essentially, all the flight radar websites only show when the plane is actually in the air. But if the plane is on the ground and transmitting, that data from the ADSB transponder still goes out. So this website, ADSB Exchange, takes that raw data. And so I was able to find it on September 10th. If you look on the very left of the frame, it shows September 10th. And it looks like there's just one data point. But what I did is I zoomed in, and the plane's actually not moving. It's
in a hangar.
GPS is a little bit inaccurate when you're this close, but you're able to see all these different times here. And that is the UTC time zone, also known as Zulu time. So subtract 7 hours from that to get Utah time. And so I tracked all of these down, and I was able to find that the plane was transponding from 9:05 a.m. until 10:34 a.m.
From where? From where?
Then it was off. And then at 12:40 p.m., it came back on and turned off again at 1:29 p.m.
Okay, I'm going to repeat that so that everybody understands. We were able to discern from this data as follows. On September 10th, and the day of Charlie's assassination, this plane first transponded from 9:05 a.m. plus 36 seconds until it was turned off at 10:34 a.m. and 5 seconds. Then the plane turned back on, the transponder was turned back on just 17 minutes after Charlie was shot.
Okay.
At 12:40 p.m. and 53 seconds, and it stayed on until 1:29 p.m. and 40 seconds.
Really?
So what was the blue plane doing sitting on the tarmac?
It wasn't on the tarmac. It was in the hangar. It just turned on. Remember I told y'all in elementary, I used to love these little fucking tests they used to give us. Kev, pay attention now. What was it doing on the tarmac? It never left the hangar, ma'am. Fuck, he's right. You never left the hangar. The tarmac in a hangar is so it's just sitting there turning off and on. Candace, is that what you're saying? Then it turned off after he was killed? Okay, meaning what?
We can only imagine what it was doing, okay? We can run a couple of options here. It's possible that they were just running a maintenance check. Duncan.
That's what it sounds like. Sound like they just cut it on, make sure it's running, turn it on for 12 like an old Cadillac. Press one, let it warm up. Cool, sound good. Bam.
Aviation does offer maintenance repairs. It's therefore possible that it just chose to run some maintenance checks at an unfortunate time.
Why? I mean, you ain't never gave us no other maintenance checks on the last time we did a maintenance check or when the scheduled maintenance check. There are things happening every day. Nobody know where anybody gonna go. There's some maintenance checks going on right now, and guess what? There's somebody dying right now. Candace. Okay, but how about normal life is happening? I'm just saying. I'm not saying she's wrong. What I'm saying is, what if just normal life is happening? Let's go.
Okay. Another possibility is that a military jet, particularly one from a foreign country, would likely be equipped with encrypted satellite-based communications capabilities.
Okay. So they're communicating with the other plane?
If you wanted to make an untraceable phone call, as an example, that would be a good place to do so.
Is that what you do? Is that what you do, Candace, when you was on the phone and FaceTiming? Huh? With George when you met him? Is that what you do? I don't know. Because we said ain't no way you can be FaceTiming on no damn plane. Unless you were just sitting in the tarmac. Unless your ass just sitting there. See, I got a good memory. See, they be thinking, see, I told y'all they think this marijuana real. Nah, this is just a show. G14 classified.
Because only the NSA would be able to intercept that call. And it's pretty obvious.
How would she know that? Look.
Now, the deep state doesn't seem particularly interested in the assassination of Charlie Kirk, so that'd be a safe place to communicate on that plane.
Now, are you listening? If you listening now, press 1. You got to listen to people. Just let them talk. See, I like to let people talk who like to talk to see how full of shit they really are. Hit the like button and subscribe. Seems like somebody knows all about this huntage. Boy, this girl right here. It's like we watching the first 48 and watching a girl in the interrogation booth lie her ass off first. Press 1. George, say how you know for real. She know exactly how it works. That's crazy. You just pull the Egyptian plane out, Candace, like that. Just get up in there because it's secure. Only people who can find you is NSA. Press 1. Is that what you're saying? Hit the like button and subscribe. Not no regular baby mama knows some shit like this. Who are you? Huh? Lord have mercy. I'm going to have my people look into you.
Like I said, these are our options. What we can do now, however, is we can add this to our list of verifiable Turning Point USA lies, because I'm going to count this as a lie by severe omission.
Okay.
By keeping your mouth shut and allowing Candace to take all the figurative bullets as she points out the oddity of a plane that you guys recognized.
Wait. Huh? You guys, what? They're destroying Charlie's shit. She's destroying it. What do you mean? What if it's your plane, Candace? What if it's your plane? What if you're with the Indians? I don't know. Indians are Arab, Muslim. Right? You seem to pick up some, lose your Christian and Catholic faith and went straight to Islam. Hit the like button and subscribe. Let's keep listening.
Okay, my point is that these planes were known to Turning Point USA, and we all deserve to know why.
Why is she including herself with us? Ma'am, you were there in 2022. Have you seen this plane? And if so, why aren't you saying that? Why aren't you getting out saying, I seen this fucking plane? I rode on this plane. I know this plane. Why are you just saying some entity? Oh, and Turning Point USA. Press 1. Oh, it's Turning Point USA. No, Candace. You're a Mason of Turning Point. You're a Turning Point. Let's go.
They were on the ground on that day.
How you know? Oh, from that graph that somebody who didn't take enough Tylenol, mama didn't take enough Tylenol while they was pregnant. Him.
What they were doing on the ground on that day. And also,
Making calls, Candace?
why Turning Point chose to stay mum when every influencer under...
I don't know, head of communications. Is that how you communicate? Press 1. Do you got one of the planes? You got access? What you got? Hit the like button. Candace is looking weird.
The sun, and every publication attacked me for even mentioning the planes, making it seem like I was dumb, I was stupid. Turning Point USA is able to provide answers to these questions.
That's probably of Lloyd of London plane? Probably. Insured plane? Let's see.
There is more that I know, by the way, but I want to challenge them to respond to this first. Were these Egyptian military planes familiar to Charlie Kirk? It is a simple...
You already said yes. And you said he would have noticed the plane. So you're not fooling me. You may be fooling incompetent people looking for a conspiracy home, but you're not fooling me.
Yes or no question, and answer it.
You already answered it.
Carefully, please, Andrew Colvett, spokesperson for Turning Point USA, because there is something very specific, Andrew, that you told me that happened when you arrived into Provo on the tarmac that day.
Wait. Christopher Harborn is a donor to Turning Point. owns an aviation company. Who's Christopher? Is that the guy she named?
And it is now playing over and over and over again in my mind, and it isn't adding up. Another point that I'd like to follow up with, Andrew Colvett, let's stick with you, is that in the hospital on that day, you told me, you were in the hospital, that you were told that there was a credible threat against me and Tucker Carlson. Specifically, you told me that me and Tucker Carlson were on a list and that you were just telling me as a friend that me and Tucker should lay low. And after you told me that, I ended our phone call and I immediately called Tucker Carlson. And I said, hey, terrified, like obviously crying all day.
Why don't you go home? Be a mom. Also, a donor to Blexit. Who is he? Who is this guy?
And telling him that he and I have to lay low because there's a credible threat. And it is now really living inside me that you did not tell me who that threat was from. I assumed the feds told you, but I asked you the question, why wouldn't the feds call me directly if there was a threat against my life? No such call has come in. How is that possible? How could someone have told you that there was a credible threat and that me and Tucker Carlson should lay low, and yet me and Tucker have since not been notified by any federal agency about those credible threats? Who do those threats come from? Because I got to tell you, there are a lot of people making videos about me and Tucker Carlson, and none of them are Egyptians.
Okay, wait a minute. Here we go. Okay. So why are we even talking about Egyptians? Okay, let's move on to the next video.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Candace. We love Charlie so much. We're very concerned to learn that these Egyptian military planes were tracking Charlie Kirk and Erika Kirk for years. What can we do to help? Gosh, we're right next door to them. We did a lot to Egypt. We actually control a lot and we surveil a lot in that state. Let us help you. Rather, their concern is that we revealed the rental license plates. These are real tweets from some Zionists. We've got Eyal Yacobi who writes, "This is what doxing looks like. These are unparalleled levels of insanity. This is truly dangerous." Oh, it's dangerous. So basically what doxing is, if you're not familiar with that term, is...
Candace knows exactly what doxing is. I want to stay on these planes. I don't want to lose these planes. Before we get on these cars, I don't want to lose these planes. I think it's on this one here. Okay, this is today's.
In Delaware, why would they do that? Why would that plane be doing that?
Okay, wait. Here we go.
There are so many elements of this story that as time goes on are clicking into place. Things that initially maybe don't consider, that you go, oh, wait a second. Why didn't I consider that right off the jump, right? I was, of course, very surprised by the 2 Egyptian military aircraft. That in general, just why were they here? Why were they there at all? And not even for 1 second did I stop and think, is this even a routine flight path at all? Like, why would these jets, ostensibly filled with government-level Egyptians, right, particularly the yellow jet, tail number SUBTT, which kept overlaying, sometimes even for days, in Delaware, why would they do that? Why would that plane be doing that? Let's pull up that timeline again that I put together of you guys.
In where? Press 1. In where? Why would that flight be what?
Of the blue jet and the yellow jet, BTT, which kept overlaying, sometimes even for days, in Delaware. Why would they do that? Why would that plane be doing that? Let's pull up that timeline again that I put together of you guys of the blue jet and the yellow jet. And we virtually in all the stops, you can just scroll through this.
So this is all happening in Delaware, where the blue jet and the yellow jet and the other jet sits on tarmacs. Press 1. Hit the like button and subscribe. Can we go there? the blue or whatever plain color scheme she was using, it's quite evident that both with the airport she's talking about specifically is in Delaware. That's crazy. Hit the like button and subscribe. See, because I think Candace has something to do with this. Me personally. So let's listen to her.
Like, we kept noticing that that yellow plane was going through Paris, it was going to Wichita, but very often it was stopping in Wilmington. Like, what goes on in Wilmington, Delaware?
I don't know. I don't know, Candace. But what I do know is that you were going at Macron. Macron, hit the like button and subscribe. Let's say you were going at Macron, right? Macron sues you. Hit the like button and subscribe. And where does Macron sue you, Candace? Well, Candace, in Delaware. You know your Brexit, your address on trademark filings is listed right there, but in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In recent lawsuit filed in Delaware, the court documents show it is registered agent is in Wilmington. Now, Candace, what are the odds, Candace, of all this going down in Wilmington? The company is in Wilmington. Brexit. Press 1. So the airplanes are in Wilmington. You're in Wilmington. Hit the like button and subscribe. It's crazy, right? What a coinky dink.
Okay. In fact, it's the Israelis. It is Israel that seems deeply upset with me and Tucker Carlson. They are not letting it go. They are making threats.
Wait. Let's go back to the other video. Here we go.
Actually, if you fly private, even if you fly public, it's not exactly a hub. People aren't like, let me route through Wilmington. That yellow plane was going through Paris. It was going to Wichita, but very often it was stopping in Wilmington. Like, what goes on in Wilmington, Delaware, actually? If you fly private, even if you fly public, it's not exactly a hub. People aren't like, let me route through Wilmington to go overseas. It's not a thing. The person who emailed me claimed to be a solid source of what that flight was doing. And he claimed, or she claimed, that he or she was so solid that they challenged me to find other people in government, people that were working in federal agencies and people that work at the State Department, to confirm what he had said. And I did. People that I trusted. I went to, spoke with them, waited a while. That's why this email came in weeks ago, but we're just telling you about it now. And they confirmed that what this individual was saying was true. And that's why I am presenting it today, despite the fact that the person who sent this email was clear this information is quite dangerous. Now, to remind you guys so that you are understanding what we are working through here with a lot of information that is known to virtually none of us, on the morning of Charlie's assassination, the plane that had initially carried over the 12...
Okay. What's in Delaware? How far is it from Delaware? Press 1. How far is it? from Candace to what we talking here. What location? 15 minutes. Hit the like button and subscribe. 15 fucking minutes. That's odd.
Or 14 quote unquote Egyptians 6 days earlier, that plane departed, the yellow plane departed on the morning at 7:14 a.m. local time from Provo, Utah, and it headed to Wilmington, Delaware. Okay, it arrived in Wilmington, Delaware at 11:51 a.m. Eastern. So that's at around 9:51 a.m. Utah time. Okay, Charlie's going to get shot at 12:23. This plane has landed into Wilmington at what would be 9:51 a.m., so about 2.5 hours before Charlie is shot. And then, for whatever reason, these Egyptians decided to stay in Wilmington, Delaware for a night until the following day. I don't know. Where did they sleep? Where did they go? Again, what goes on in Wilmington, Delaware? Because they departed September 11th at 7:56 a.m. That means that we can definitively rule out that this was just a fuel stop, right? Nobody's like, let me fuel up my...
What time? Their time or Utah time?
...private military jet and sleep on the plane. So there was something in Wilmington that held the interest of our Middle Eastern people that are here for some reason.
Oh.
Well, like I said, someone emailed us and we took our time vetting this tip because it seemed plausible, right? It seemed plausible to us that what you guys are thinking, maybe this was meant to distract us. We're going to run down this rabbit hole. And no, that's not the case. We vetted it across multiple government agencies and to really the highest levels of government. So this is legit. I've printed it out and I'm going...
Wait a minute. You ran this across government agencies.
...to read around some parts, removing some parts, thinking maybe this was meant to distract us. We're going to run down this rabbit hole.
Yeah, because TPUSA is funded with Epstein money. Like I've been saying, Epstein's all on the news and nobody wants to talk about this shit. But we'll continue on.
And no, that's not the case. We vetted it across multiple government agencies and to really the highest levels of government. So this is legit. I've printed it out and I'm going to read around some parts, removing some parts to provide this individual, who, by the way, I have no idea who this is, but to give him and her even some more coverage. Even though they said that they were very thorough in making sure it wouldn't get back to them, but you never know. They're taking a tremendous risk. So I'm just going to read this to you guys, and I'm going to read it slow for comprehension because I had to read it slow myself for comprehension. It starts out with, Candace, I'm aware that you suspect the government and other entities are involved in the events leading up to and on September 10th. I'm aware that you also tied the plane, SUBTT, yellow plane, to this and that you are receiving tips. You might have been wondering why SUBTT made so many visits to Wilmington, Delaware, out of all places, and I can personally answer that.
Okay, Royal Purple, are you hearing this? Audience, are you hearing this?
What I can say about myself is blank, blank, blank. I'm not going to read that. I'm not going to read that. I'm not going to read that. Some people may tell you that SUBTT stopped at Wilmington because it was, quote unquote, just maintenance. That is not true.
So she gets another email to tell her about the plane that's stopping 15 minutes away from her shit. That they gonna keep anonymous. And she ran this across agencies, and they said it's fine. Go ahead and read that on the computer.
The information I am giving you will implicate the FBI and various other government agencies.
So you ran this by, hold up. You ran this. Is that what I heard? Okay.
the plane, SUBTT, yellow plane, to this and that you are receiving tips. You might have been wondering why SUBTT made so many visits to Wilmington, Delaware, out of all places, and I can personally answer that. What I can say about myself is blank, blank, blank. I'm not going to read that. I'm not going to read that. I'm not going to read that. Some people may tell you that SUBTT stopped at Wilmington because it was, quote unquote, just maintenance. That is not true. The information I am giving you will implicate the FBI and various other government agencies all at the same time. I am passing this to you because you are honest enough to see this for what it is. You may put this in your notes and reveal this pattern publicly, but this, and then he talks about why this information is dangerous. So I'm going to skip and get to the information portion.
Hurry up.
The information portion reads this. As you know, on September 10th, an Egyptian government Dassault Falcon 7X, tail number SUBTT, came into Wilmington, Delaware. I tried to pull non-public movement data, and it came up empty. For me, this means that the arrival was processed under a diplomatic and dignitary category, which...
This sounds just like you, Candace. The email itself sounds just like you. It is just word for word. And communications, right? Director. Okay.
Delaware. I tried to pull non-public movement data, and it came up empty. For me, this means that the arrival was processed under a diplomatic and dignitary category, which would not show up in the usual places. That in and of itself wouldn't be odd if we were talking about Andrews or Dulles airports. It's odd at Wilmington. You can't verify this next piece directly, but I can independently. I can confirm that blank uses vehicles which often leave and enter that airport when they do covert handoffs. Now, I have no affiliation with SUBTT, nor am I an operator anywhere near Egypt or its planes, but I do know that only federal vehicles are allowed access to private gates housing government planes. Because of this, I can guarantee you that the vehicles affiliated with this workspace arrived and left inside the same window as SUBTT.
This sounds like you, Candace. Completely. That's why you're reading it so naturally. Because it's probably you.
Vehicles either pick up, monitor, or escort every government plane that lands there. So that's the standard. It's every single one. Feds don't just leave foreign government planes unwatched. It's a government plane, not a ghost plane. Someone has to come out, and we all know they're not going to just call an Uber. Given that I know most of the locations that these vehicles visit,
how would you? Go ahead.
I'm entirely confident in stating that the plane and those vehicles are connected to 920 North King Street, which is at a place that is marketed also as 1 Rodney Square. Nearly every federal vehicle that visits the airport will pass through King Street at least once, because that is where the majority of the vehicles are ultimately stationed. We do this because it is discreet. The reason people don't know about this is because assets can be transferred to cars without diplomatic plates. You can't just do transfers with diplomatic plates out in the open, or it would immediately...
What the... she doxing the government?
tie assets to government. That's why the fleet is either federal, unmarked, or local. So when I say government vehicles, what I'm really saying is they most likely immediately swapped the plates for local, but they still had federal clearance. I'm going to skip this because I think this could be... The whole idea is they get in, they have a meeting, they get out, the plates are then changed back, and they go back to a designated area. However, sometimes it is a...
This shit is crazy. This is wild. How y'all sitting there quiet? I don't know. I don't even know how y'all sit there quiet. I can't even hold water.
Decided that they need to have a meeting in a more
Interesting.
convenient spot, a meeting that's not in a car. That is what I am telling you happened with SUBTT. It obviously would be impossible for me to show you the evidence of these activities because I obviously can't do that. I obviously can't pull dash cam or cameras, but I am telling you that this is known among insiders. And if you want confirmation, you can ask Intel insiders of yours, and they will confirm that that is exactly what happened.
This is weird. Just some random person in the world.
You may ask why this happened in the first place, and I'll give you my best information, and here's where it gets big. In June of 1997, the Department of Justice's own directory lists, quote, Wilmington Resident Office, 1 Rodney Square, Suite 404, 920 King Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801. That is your line to know that it is a federal resident office that is at that exact address. You can open it yourself in this link and look for a page titled 675. Okay, we did that. We confirmed that. Wilmington Resident Office, Suite 404, 1 Rodney Square. And so we can confirm this is, like he says or she says, the Department of Justice's own directory list.
He or she, Candace.
801. That is your line to know that it is a federal resident office that is at that exact address. You can open it yourself in this link and look for a page titled 675. Okay, we did that. We confirmed that. Wilmington Resident Office, Suite 404, 1 Rodney Square. And so we can confirm this is, like he says or she says, the Department of Justice's own directory list. Okay. Today, if you punch that address into public directories, you will find the DEA, Drug Enforcement Agency, at 920
At that place, right? Okay. Well, what the fuck does... Okay.
North King Street. And at the same address, the United States Secret Service, 920 North King Street.
Okay. So you get an email blaming them? This,
Wilmington, Delaware, 1980.
but you're 15 minutes away, Candace. You're here, Candace. So say I'm you. I'll just go right here to Crenshaw and make it right. Press 1. And me, I mean your sources. I mean your sources. Which is you? I'm going to come on. Which is you? I'm not playing this childlike game.
01. Both are live. Both are at Suite 404. Both also publish phone numbers.
Wait a minute. And Candace's company is incorporated right up the street. Don't she live in Tennessee?
In the Secret Service case, the agency's own 2025 field office list still shows Wilmington, Delaware. That means the suites that the Department of Justice owned in the 90s never actually went away. This eventually evolved into a multi-agency space in a commercial building.
Okay.
Building looks like if you decided to cut the 33 Thomas Street building in half. Seriously, if you Google image 33 Thomas Street in New York City, that's the building that Snowden leaked. Find one that makes it look brown and then compare it to 920 North King Street in Wilmington. It looks exactly like a mini version of the thing. The only difference is that 920 North King has glass windows. Now, you saw people on X saying that SUBTT has an alibi because it, quote unquote, aligns with a long-standing Falcon maintenance arrangement out of Wilmington that dates back to 1999. You remember that, guys? They told us, oh, they were just doing maintenance. This is maintenance here, maintenance there, scheduled maintenance. That's the part that really sent me, because I know.
Oh, this is horrible. Oh, Candace, you're totally giving yourself away.
That's the part that really sets me off, because I know that you are right about the plane, and I also know the truth about this plane.
Why are you talking in third person?
Yes, Wilmington used to have a Dassault Falcon authorized center, but it shut down around 2021. Then, and this is verifiable, in December of 2024, a French aircraft finishing company called Satys, it's Satys, and now
A French company now.
that it was taking over the shuttered Wilmington Airport hangar. And every Delaware outlet said the same thing. Satys will invest a little over $1 million. And get this. So you see that? We are pulling that up. We have confirmed that that is true.
This is wild.
This is a French company that said they were going to take over this hangar in Wilmington. The Delaware River and Bay Authority is the one that is making that deal. DRBA is a bi-state authority, except the key part is that it operates on federally regulated waterways. Its own January 2024 resolution says that it was, quote, acquiring the rights to a paint hangar currently part of a Dassault leasehold, and authorizing the executive director and board chair to execute that lease with Satys. So that is a River Bay Authority, the DRBA, that is executing an aviation lease on a field that sits on a navigable corridor. That automatically puts it in the orbit of a federal system. The chain here that would report from the people who control the rivers would be DRBA to the Army Corps of Engineers, the Secretary of the Army and the Secretary of Defense to the President. So now you can say with complete honesty that the federal government was aware of and signed off on the plane and hangar situation. Now, I'm not claiming a direct line of authority for that. I'm saying that anyone who tells you that the influence is not there is either misinformed or lying. I'm also not saying that POTUS himself did this, but the government was undeniably involved with that hangar and the plane that you are eyeing. Not to mention, Representative McBride is the statewide rep for that place. Again, I'm not saying that McBride has anything to do with this because I wouldn't know that, but it is noteworthy. What you can honestly say, though, is this. If SUBTT has been doing this run for decades, it could not have been using a 2024 French finishing lease as its maintenance justification. In fact, your own timeline shows how they traveled to France before the deal was even made. It proves that the maintenance story is nothing but a cover. That hangar is undeniably either another site in and of itself or it is a front for something else. Back to 920 North King Street. When you Google FBI Wilmington Resident Agency, you should check the address in the Google info panel. You will likely get 920 North King Street with the label Federal Bureau of Investigation, instead of the public FBI address that's at 500 Delaware Avenue, Suite 300, which is just a bank tower. You can confirm that 500 Delaware Ave is the borough's public-facing spot, but Google will tell you that 920 North King Street is also the FBI. That is not a mistake. The FBI is also stationed at 920 North King Street. They list it straight in the DOJ's 90s directory. Further, the Secret Service is not a part of the Department of Justice. They are the Department of Homeland Security. So this actually seems to be a joint DOJ DHS site, which verifiably houses 3 different agencies and possibly more, all at the same time.
Okay.
I've looked for a while, and to this day, I don't see any other location that does that. I guarantee you've never personally heard of a federal site operating like that either. No matter what anybody tells you, if they say they lease like that all the time, that is not a justification.
A justification for what?
Multiple agents of multiple different agencies in one suite is not common or typical in the slightest. A joint office is common, but there's a line to draw between a joint office and at least 3 different agencies alongside contractors all operating in one place. Also, take a look at the borough's own press release from December 5th, 2024. Christopher Wray, quote, met with key partners and stressed how critical FBI partnerships are to protecting our communities. They chose to mention partners. They didn't say that he met with agents that were assigned in Wilmington. They foregrounded partnerships. That's the vocabulary that they use when the space is not purely FBI and it lines up with what is actually happening at 920 North King Street.
This is some double, triple agent type shit.
Which is the FBI, the DEA, and the USSS, United States Secret Service, and others are working together in a commercial tower. Here is the link for that press release. In that link, Wray confirms that the place houses private partners as well. He says, quote, if you step back and look at how much closer our partnerships are now than they were 5 or 10 years ago, it's a defining trend. I think of significance of this positive transformation. We have an entire generation of law enforcement and the private sector working together, trying to figure out how to help each other and to have each other's backs. Yeah, to have each other's backs. So let's recap.
Ma'am, that's what you were saying when you backed the blue, remember?
These facts. On September 10th, an Egyptian government aircraft with a history of flying to France and the United States lands at a small Delaware airport under a French company maintenance pretext that doesn't actually match the hangar timeline because the French visit predates the French company's deal. Within an hour, federal SUVs move from that airport to 920 North King Street. 920 North King Street has been a federal residence office since at least 1997, and today it houses the DEA, the FBI, and the United States Secret Service, all at the same address. The hangar the plane would have used is controlled through a DRBA lease that itself is nested in federal waterway.
So this person just sent you this.
Federal waterways. The FBI also publicly talks about key partners in Wilmington on the same year that the hangar reactivates. I'm going to skip this next portion because he tells me how I can verify this. And like I said, I did that.
He or she? Press 1. See? He or she? Put it in like, put a 1. Wait. I'm listening. You apologized last time you said he. But you just keep saying it.
Once more, go through this logic and ask yourself how this makes any sense. On November 13th, 2022, SUBTT flies from Cairo to Paris to Wichita, Kansas, to Wilmington, Delaware, back to Cairo. That is already a 4-leg, 2-continent hop that ends in Wilmington before going home. 4 days later, on November 17th, 2020.
I thought these was the planes that was following Kirk. Press 1. I thought these planes was following Kirk.
It does Egypt to Wilmington, again, departing at...
See, you got to stay with her story. I thought, you don't fucked up. I thought we was following Kirk and Erika around. This is interesting, Candace. The thing about criminals, they should only make sense to them all the way through. And if you let these people talk, they'll tell you. But if you don't have a sound mind, they'll run you in circles, and you'll be confused right where they need you. But I could have sworn it was a she.
8:54 a.m. And this time it stays in Wilmington until November 20th and only then returns to Cairo. So that is 2 Wilmington arrivals in the same week. Nobody burns a government Falcon 7X on 2 separate Wilmington runs for no reason. I mean, just
I
look
thought it was just sitting on a tarmac getting maintenance.
at the choice of St. Louis, Wichita, Omaha, Lincoln, Williston, Minot, and Provo. None of these are standard diplomatic hubs. Most of those don't even have major consulates, and absolutely none of them are known for large-scale Egyptian presence, so that immediately undermines the whole "it's just a maintenance stop" excuse. Ask yourself, why else a state aircraft would hopscotch across America to remote cities if its purpose was just servicing at a defunct Roman Dassault
She reading it like she wrote it. She's putting all that effort into it.
center? Wilmington is undeniably a terminal point, and the only logical reason points to 920 North King Street. I could go through all of the dates and do this, but you already mapped the flights, so you already understand exactly what I'm saying.
Oh,
Obviously, I can't tell you how I know this or who I am or exactly who it is that I work for. My motive is simply that I can no longer keep this stuff in my head anymore.
Bond. James Bond. Prep 1. Bond. That's who it is. James fucking Bond.
I just need somebody with a history of doing the right thing and figuring out the entire truth.
Come on. Come on. Oversaturation.
I hope you can understand.
I can't believe it. This girl is nuts.
Why I cannot verify my employment here.
Huh?
I took a big risk to tell the truth, and my hope is
I
that
took a big risk to tell the truth. Now she's talking about herself. If it was somebody else, they would not. This is crazy.
I'm saying. Obviously, I can't tell you how I know this or who I am or exactly who it is that I work for. My motive is simply that I can no longer keep this stuff in my head anymore. I just need somebody with a history of doing the right thing and figuring out the entire truth. I hope you can understand why I cannot verify my employment here. I took a
Why you cannot? Press 1. Everything else can be verified. But that. Candace, Candy. I want to hear her mouth move one more time. I just want to see how fast she come up with this shit. Because they very fast. They just say this. Like, who else would write this, Candace? On Earth. On Earth.
servicing at a defunct Wilmington Dassault Center. Wilmington is undeniably a terminal point, and the only logical reason points to 920 North King Street.
I think Candace and George set this whole thing up, bro. There should be no reason for this shit. I'm saying this is the urban conservative, Channel 54, the bungalows. Listen, this is why I think not because I don't have a reason. I think people who do this be trying to cover up for the people who really did it. And you know, in most cases in America, if you take part in these type of crimes, it don't matter if you're the shooter or the driver, you just as culpable.
I could go through all of the dates and do this, but you already mapped the flights, so you already understand exactly what I'm saying.
That's one of my. You already mapped the flights. You mean George? This is wild, man. I had to get up on this internet. This is wild, bro. Out of all the videos, all the conspiracies, tonight, this one right here, the one we watching, this is insane that she think she fooling us. Press 1. If you are fraud department G14 classified, this woman thinks she fooling us. That now, this is her to the T. Look how she talk, the way she write. Look how much emotion she put into this letter. This is her. Press 1 if you agree.
Have major consulates.
Fuck that. I need some interaction. Press 1 if you agree. Press 1 if you agree.
And absolutely none of them are known for large-scale Egyptian presence, so that immediately undermines the whole
She looks proud of herself. She did at first.
"it's just a maintenance stop" excuse. Ask yourself, why else a state aircraft would hopscotch across America to remote cities if its purpose was
Hopscotch. Ain't nobody speaking of ain't no white man talking about hopscotch, Candace. See? Discrepancy. Red flags. That's a discrepancy. Ain't no white IT man talking about no damn hopscotch. He may say hacky sack. Press one. Hopscotch, Candace. Fuck it. Double Dutch. Fuck it. Fuck it. And then motherfuckers say, might say hacky sack or some shit. Press one. Skippity do along. But come on. Hopscotch, Candace.
just servicing at a defunct Wilmington Assault Center. Wilmington is undeniably a terminal point, and the only logical reason points to 920 North King Street. I could go through all of the dates and do this, but you already mapped the flights, so you already understand exactly what I'm saying.
What you saying?
Obviously, I can't tell you how I know this or who I am or exactly who it is that I work for. My motive is simply that I can no longer keep this stuff in my head anymore. I just need somebody with a history of doing the right thing and figuring out the entire truth. I hope you can.
Candace always thinks she's doing the right thing and be confusing everybody.
Understand why I cannot verify my employment here. I took a big risk to tell the truth, and my hope is that you will at least check me on it. Analyze and verify the flight patterns. So,
She looked guilty. Candace looked, man, I wrote that. Press one. She looked like she wrote this shit. She just looked like she wrote it.
my hope is that you will at least check me on it. Analyze and verify the flight patterns.
Oh, Candace. Woo! Oh, that was good. G14 classified, huh? You can't even keep a straight face. Look at the crookedness in your face. Her whole face is just shifted on over. Woo, man. That's some sleazeball shit. That's a sleazeball face. That's like a bad kid, a smart ass, good for nothing bad kid who always got like the perfect excuse and will look at you in your motherfucking face and just lie. And you sitting up here like, nigga, you wrote that. Your teacher didn't write that about you. The Marcus is my favorite student. He always does his homework and shows up on time. There's one, never late. Never disrupt the classroom or nothing. Hit the like button and subscribe.
So, I think we know why Cash Patel is out, right? I mean, I read this, checked it, verified it, and I just want to know why, Charlie. I want to know why
Wait, you want to know why?
the decision was made to murder. So, I just need somebody with a history of doing the right thing and figuring out the entire truth. I hope you can understand why I cannot verify my employment here. I took a big risk to tell the truth, and my hope is that you will at least check me on it. Analyze and verify the flight patterns. So, I think we know why Cash Patel is out, right? I mean, I read this, checked it, verified it, and I just want to know why, Charlie. I want to know why the decision was made to murder Charlie Kirk, a decision that very clearly had to be approved by Charlie's friends. That's all I have. I want to know why. I think we deserve to know why. And instead, we're going to be sued. I guess, is this going to be the pathway forward? You're going to start murdering more people in broad daylight for knowing? Is that our consequence? Is that like the slave consequence? Is that like, catching a slave and cutting off their limbs? For knowing? Very clearly had to be approved by Charlie's friends. That's all I have. I want to know why. I think we deserve to know why. And I think we know why Cash Patel is out, right? I mean, I read this, checked it, verified it, and I just want to know why, Charlie. I want to know why the decision was made to murder Charlie Kirk, a decision that very clearly had to be approved by Charlie's friends. That's all I have. I want to know why. I think we deserve to know why. And instead, we're going to be sued. I guess, is this?
Press 1. Yes, you're going to be sued. Yes. It's all ending, Candace. Yes. You see that threw her off? You see that threw her to fuck off? Press 1. You're going to be sued, ma'am. You didn't know that? Well, guess who knew? G14 Classified knew. Yes, ma'am, you're being sued. Now I'm by Mrs. McCrone. You know exactly what is it. And what do you mean a slave? And what do you mean a slave? Kim Kardashian, Candace Kardashian.
My hope is that you will at least check me on it, analyze,
Now,
and verify
this
the
is
flight
why
patterns. So, I think we know why Cash Patel is out, right? I mean, I read this, checked it, verified it, and I just want to know why, Charlie. I want to know why the decision was made to murder Charlie Kirk.
Wow.
A decision that very clearly had to be approved by Charlie's friends. That's all I have. I want to know why.
A decision that had to be approved by Charlie's friends? You're his friend. You sleazeball. Press 1. You're a sleazeball. Oh, listen. Who else would do this? Man, I grew up in South LA with big homies, little homies, tiny homies, and all that. Press 1. Only this is some nigga shit. Hold on. My political Karen Civil? Hold on, little mama. Who says that? His friends, his people at TPUSA trying to keep their job. You trying to destroy it. They probably don't know what the fuck going on other than let's raise some more funds, get some more sponsors, and continue this thing. And you are systematically blaming unknown people, just saying his friends. And why would you want to know, why say that? Like, oh, I just want to know why the decision was made by his friends to go along with the assassination of Charlie, when it could have been you're his friend, right?
This, checked it, verified it, and I just want to know why, Charlie. I want to know why.
I want to know why Charlie. I don't know, Candace. Tell us.
Um,
You led us here. You led us here. Nah, I think Candace and George and them lined his ass up. That's what I think. I'll never blame the government. No, I don't want them at my house. Press one. Mm-mm. Not the federal government, not the Department of Justice, not Homeland Security. Press one. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Maybe there was somebody who had connections and sources. Press one. See, there's good cops and there's bad cops. There's good agents. There's horrible agents. There's agents who follow the rules, and then there's agents who break them. And you're the only one running around with a CIA cup. You may be a rogue agent. I'm just saying. You looking up at the sky, and ain't nothing there. You can't grasp it. Let's see what she said.
the decision was made to murder Charlie Kirk, a decision that very clearly had to be approved by Charlie's friends. That's all I have. I want to know.
You're the only one in Wilmington. Press one. You're the only one in Wilmington. And Shiva just posted, what? There's Turning Point USA. Press one. Right there. There it is. Trust. Wilmington, Delaware. I don't know, Candace. Maybe that's where the planes come from. I don't know, Candace. But now that people are on it, and this is Bloomberg, so this is legit. So you have CO the Corporation Trust Company, Trust Center 1209 Orange Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801. United States in the press. One, see? That's there. So TPUSA got business there. Blexit got business there. Y'all got business. So are you talking about Turning Point USA Trust? What shell Turning Point are you referring to that you can legally not specify, you horrible person? You're such a horrible person. See, once G14 and the fraud department get on it like pit bulls, it's over. It's over. I can take a day off. You know, we're going to do these conspiracies, but I don't want to burn out like the rest of these people. I just like having these discussions. Make sure you support the broadcast. If you're not a student, make this show stay alive. We got 136 people up in here. Make sure all 136. And we asking real questions. Candace, trying to act like she don't know what's in Delaware. How we find out what's in Delaware? And we just a regular group of people. She got all this CIA with spreadsheets, nigga, and she trying to distort my brain and tell me about planes that's in a hangar and the French. Trump told you shut the fuck up. Because once Kev Gills get on you, press one, they already know. The federal government already knows. Once he get on you, man, ain't no man. Enjoy the program, Candace. It's over. Man, you turning up everywhere. So we got, maybe that's you on a plane following Erika. Press one. Maybe that's you on a plane. Maybe you pulled a Britney, just showed up in Cali type shit. Press one. See, that's that bullshit. Just showed up. Just, where were you on January 6th, man? Oh, parlor. Celebrating terrorist attacks on America. It's time to accept it, y'all. We got black Nazis and black terrorists and black white nationalists. They ain't even got no religion. They don't give a damn about Catholic or Christian or Islam. They don't give a damn. They clone babies from Epstein Island some goddamn where. I don't know where they make people like, where was you? You a Cabbage Patch Kid. Where was you bought from? That goddamn modeling agency. I told you. Where the fuck was you? They put this one together. They put a black, they said, we're going to put a white nationalist soul in this one. Press 1. Let me tell you how they did. They just uploaded her brain with a computer just. Give her a Negro appearance with a nationalistic, Germanic, press 1, soul spirit. Press 1, and make her ponytail about that long. Press 1. Press 1, make her shoulder blades stand out like Satan. Press 1. If you really look at Candace, she got a manly, masculine face. Press 1. She may be a transdis, because they got a whole transdis community out here doing bad things to good people. Huh, Charlie? They out here doing these transdis community. They out here doing bad things. They're unstable. Candace is starting to act like them when they get hot, when they start going through menopause. Well, when the trans people start going through menopause, they start acting weird and shit. Get away from me and want to squabble up like me. Hold on. You coming out your divine femininity, remember? Come on. Y'all some weirdos. Hit the like button and subscribe. Only a man will act like this. Women don't act like this. Press 1. Only transdis people act like this. They just keep going and just keep making up and quit. You ever see these people all scroll up? All they do is just talk shit, lie. They don't give a damn. Hurt people. Press 1. I'm going in on everybody.
I want to know why. I think we deserve to know why. And instead, we're going to be sued.
Look, she going to be sued.
Is this going to be the pathway forward? You're going to start murdering more people?
No, we're just going to sue you. Your black ass. We're going to show you white supremacy. Huh? You want to be a part of white supremacy so bad. We're going to show you what we do to niggas. Hit the like button and subscribe. We're going to build you up. Press 1. And then we're going to press 1. Rock bottom your candy ass. How we going to do? Do the people elbow and make you take the blame. See, Candace, somebody got to take the fall. For the Black Lives Matter Negroes, it was them black people. But for the Red Lives Matter, the black Brexit, the Blexit folk, you, the blackface, you the one going down, and you don't want to go down, Candace. But you're going to drown. You're running out of missiles. Press 1. You're all alone out there. Hit the like. I know how that feels. Press 1. You're running out of ammo. Hey, listen. Her and Melanie King doing the same thing. Reverting back to Jesus. We got to find our way back to God. The whole thing is ran by reptilians, even though they all invested in me. We gonna show your ass a white supremacy. Lord have mercy. This is the biggest fall I ever seen on television. YouTube TV is the shit. You should be a YouTuber. This is fun.
People in broad daylight for knowing? Is that our consequence? Is that like the slave consequence? Is that like,
Candace is not a slave, like,
catching a slave and cutting off their limbs?
I thought Candace said she was never a slave in this country. What are you talking about, Candace? Hold up. Candace Owens. I was never a slave. I just want to see if it come up. Press 1. Hold up.
Ass either. We don't want you.
I've never been a slave. See, Candace? See? You full of shit. That's what you is. You ain't never been a slave, Candace. See how fast we can get your ass? Huh? You ain't shit. Damn, you ain't never been shit. And where was she at? CPAC. That, and she declared,
hey fam, I want you to like, share,
over.
and subscribe to our YouTube channel. YouTube.com.
Candace is a fucking living troll. Press 1. She probably got over like 300 YouTube accounts, just trolling everywhere. Hit the like button and subscribe. Candace declares it is over. I've never been a slave. Press 1. Hitler is the best.
Wow, that's not very flattering.
Look. Candace Owens, Director of Communications for Turning Point USA. Boom. Mic drop, bitch. And not her. I'm saying just bitch, the word. Mic drop, bitch. You know, I'm not calling a woman a bitch. I'm just saying the word. But I'm mic drop, motherfucker. We on that. I told you. So this has been this director of communication, Kev. See, I told you, Ali, I be throwing bows and people don't even be knowing until the information come down the pipeline and boom, that's real journalism. She can't sue me because I called her the director of communication for Turning Point USA, and that Blexit is right up the street from the plane she was just talking about. Press 1. Hit the like button and subscribe. Hit the like button and subscribe. I told you Candace Owens she always been on the wrong side of history. Always. She never been right. Never. Ever.
I'm aware that you also tied the plane, SUBTT, yellow plane, to this, and that you are receiving tips. You might have been wondering why SUBTT made so many visits to Wilmington, Delaware, out of all places, and I can personally answer that. What I can say about myself is...
This is Candace. Now you know this is Candace. So now you know, hold on, this is our theory. Don't bother us. Leave us alone. Leave my little community alone. We do what the hell we want to. Yeah, we don't follow the fucking corporate constructive way of doing YouTube. No. My community supports my class, which enables me to do what I need to do on YouTube, not what they want to do. Hit the like button and subscribe. Independent. So you know we don't give a damn. A black intelligence agency. Damn. Hit the like button and subscribe. So now that we know, this is Candace. Candace is talking the whole time in third person in our theory.
Blank. I'm not going to read that. I'm not going to read that. I'm not.
Let's speed this up.
Into Provo at 3:31 p.m. And the last plane that we have here is one that departed the Cessna Citation that holds 7 to 8 passengers. That's the one. What's the next move? Like, are we just going to keep spending hundreds of millions of dollars trying to see how much money can be spent on a psychological operation to convince
Shut up, Candace.
people not to believe their own eyes and
I believe my eyes and my ears.
to convince people to accept the Fed slop, to convince people that Charlie ate 3,000 pounds of energy coming at him?
If I was my friend, I couldn't keep bringing that up. Hit the like button. I just couldn't keep bringing up the moment of impact and using it this way. This is how you know this is a creator being off of 2K11.
Can we know why?
Why?
We just want to know what he did. I want to know what Charlie did. I think about this. It is like, what did Charlie find out?
He found out that Candace and them was using the paperwork because she watches my shows, and she's like, damn, out of all the motherfuckers that's on it, they all on it. But Kev is such a fucking gangster that he just spews it. He just spews it, and what he says is effective. What they know, Candace, is what did he find out, Candace? You know what the fuck he found out. Somebody put life insurance. I'm going to say it over. They put life insurance and started stealing money. And found out a lot of these people was taking money from, we're going to leave that there, the bad people of Earth. And Candace, with her little fucking, she looks like that. I'm an African-American, so I can say this joke. She looked like that monkey from Planet of the Apes, the woman one, with pink lips. Bruh, one. Like Condoleezza Rice's little cousin. Hit the like button and subscribe. Hey, see, that's not racist from me. Bruh. Watch this one. That's not racist for me. See, if y'all white people can't say shit like that, you be in trouble. See, I'm an African American. See, I got sovereignty. You have no jurisdiction over these words that is coming out of my mouth. She looked like the what? Huh? Planet of the Apes. Woman. That's all you gotta put. Press 1. Her ugly ass. Y'all quit telling me she look good. She don't. She look like one of them.
Good morning, Julius.
Good morning,
How's
Candace.
our patient today?
No change. The minute you open the door, he goes into his act.
Look at him. In a perfect world where Candace rules, press 1, hit the like button and subscribe. Shut up. Just quit booing in the back. Quit booing.
Well, and what do we want this morning?
That's how she got George and them hemmed up at home. You were all the white men that Candace got them.
We want something? Come on, speak. Come on.
Woo-wee. 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 There she go right there. Got Candace right there. Playing her day. Hold up. There she go. Hold up. No, fuck her. No, because she said all that shit about my people. She ain't us. She white supremacy. So let her be white supremacy. Candace thinks she's slick. See, I know who she is. Hit the like button and subscribe. You see, that's that shit. You got to stay up and watch KevRow at night because you may miss something. Candace thinks she blending in with us. You taking your ass back to where they found you, incubator baby, from the World Fair. That's the one from Epstein Island. That's how Candace be looking at them white men up there. That's one at Mar-a-Lago. You be like, I look good, huh? I'm going to get my nose done. What? That's how her lips is. Hit the like button. I ain't never seen no black woman without no lip. None? That's one. None? Hit the like button and subscribe. None? The hair just look see, that's what happened. Put them a nice little wig on. Press 1, and they start feeling themselves. Look, you can't put makeup on a woman chimpanzee. Why? Because hit the like button and subscribe. Stop acting like this don't look like Candace Owens and Condoleezza Rice. Y'all better not come to my school. This is... Give me a kiss. Little lip having ass. Press 1. Press 1. My bad, Candace. I know you will get me in trouble for this shit. But God, what? I'm for the people, by the people.
I'm aware that you also tied the plane, SUBTT, yellow plane, to this.
I'm tired of these planes. Fold them. I'm tired of Candace and Megyn Kelly. How come all these women are supporting predators? Because they was working with them. Press 1. This shit ain't hard no more. I'm the real conspiracy guy. Fuck the bullshit, nigga. I tell you what happened on 9/11. See, they playing. I tell you. Press 1. This is nothing for me. Nigga, we was raised off of conspiracies. Inside job. Let's do it.
Know what to say beyond the
Candace feeling that heat. Somebody got to her.
fact that we are being ruled by sadistic criminals.
You can go home to Europe.
All of us, the whole world, every nation.
Listen, you can't tell now. You was just with them, Candace. You know what we're doing right now when you tell us the truth like this? Lolly, lolly, we don't give a damn. Because we've been telling you the whole damn time. Hit the like button. So you wanted to go up there and get away from us. And now you back. Now your ass is back. Hey, guess what? The whole world is evil. Whoop-de-fucking-do, Candace. Welcome to fucking reality. That's what we've been saying. And you, no, I'm not a slave. I'm black. And I'm from Africa. And all the immigrants that's black that come here outproduce black people that are from here because they ain't shit. No, fuck you. No, it's not. It's not ruled by evil people. You just a sinner and you scared to go to jail. Well, that's all that is. I'm not, so what if it's reptilian? You better not bust a crime because they're going to throw you in jail. The reptilian go get you. Now look at you, looking stupid. Even to the conspiracy people. You just going off about nothing. Planes and shit when you the only one, you live up the street. We going door to door looking for witnesses. And what they fucking do? Guess who opens up the door in Wilmington? Candace. What? Fucking Candace.
Okay. A gang of demented psychopaths.
Like yourself. This is how criminals talk about themselves. These are the ones that be in the interrogation room. Press 1 on Don't Do Bad Things show coming up. Right, they be in the interrogation room like, man, I hope y'all catch them. And I hope y'all catch the people who did this. And the detectives be like, what do you want to happen to the people who've committed such a horrible crime? I want them to go to prison for the rest of their life. That's what I would want. I want them to go to hell first and then go to prison. We live in a good time, so just go to prison. Think about what they did. Meanwhile, it's them the whole time. That same tape get played in court of what they think should happen to them, to others who commit crimes like that. Boom. That's all Candace is going through. Say it again. Projecting.
Rule over us, and their solution to being caught doing psychopathic things
Is what? Kill Charlie?
is to murder us.
Woo, your ass in trouble. Woo, Candace. I can feel it coming in the air of the night. Oh, Lord.
To murder us. So we'll take a quick break and come back.
Oh, what a somber moment. Candace is like, we gonna die. We gonna die. They gonna kill us for this shit. Show dumb ass. Whatever y'all been doing is big enough for this. Because when y'all attacked Parler and Turning Point USA attacked January 6th in the U.S. Capitol, you went to war. You wasn't worried about nothing but yourself. But now they gonna come kill us.
All right, you guys, this holiday season, you can express your love with a very special kind of gift. The gift of premium steaks from Riverbend Ranch. Their holiday bundles are only available while supplies last, and they're going to the wellness company. Introducing American-made ivermectin. It's safe, it's trusted, and it is produced right here in the United States. Ivermectin has been prescribed for Scottsdale, landing into Scottsdale at 12:44 p.m.
She getting to it.
Green Plains. Green means go. These are the planes, and I've already mentioned to you guys this first one that we ended up discovering was related to, can you pull up this, thanks, the Cessna citation.
You do ads in the middle. You do ads for pharmaceutical companies in the middle of your friend's investigation. This is just wild.
That holds 7 to 8 passengers. That's the one that departed from Scottsdale at 8 o'clock a.m.
Okay.
Landed into Provo at 10:06 a.m. And then it immediately departed for Santa Barbara.
At 10:24 a.m.
Landed into Santa Barbara and immediately departed for Scottsdale.
Okay.
Landing into Scottsdale at 12:44 p.m. So just after Charlie got shot, because that's Scottsdale time.
Ooh, you was a crooked woman. Ooh, she shape-shifting on the television. Only trans people can shapeshift. Come on.
I am curious about who was on that plane because we can attach that to Turning Point USA.
Oh, yeah, she sells steaks For sure.
Turning Point USA is featured on TW Lewis's foundation website. They are partners. They have given to Turning Point USA. And that flight feels very important to me.
Why?
The next flight is a Beechcraft that departed Scottsdale at 12:27 p.m. local.
So what are we doing with these? What about them?
And that holds about, that's a smaller plane, about
You
6.
can tell when she's reading her emails to when she's talking about planes with George. She has no idea. She just like, what?
Seats.
Nothing.
The next flight is the 15 to 16 passenger flight. That's a big one. That was Charlie's plane that day. First took him to Salt Lake City for the restaurantology interview that he did, his last interview. And then after he gets shot, which makes sense, somebody sent it directly. I'm assuming this might have been what Mikey McCoy coordinated, sent it straight to Scottsdale. And I would like to know who specifically got onto this plane. And then they land into Provo at 3:31 p.m. And the last...
Wait. You're seeing, wait.
Somebody sent it directly. I'm assuming this might have been what Mikey McCoy coordinated. And then after he gets shot, which makes sense, somebody sent it directly. I'm assuming this might have been what Mikey McCoy coordinated, sent it straight to Scottsdale. And I would like to know who specifically got onto this plane.
Okay. It goes to Scottsdale.
And then they land into Provo at 3:31 p.m.
Okay.
And the last plane that we have here is one that departed Santa Barbara at 2:19 p.m. local. That's actually quite late. I want to draw your attention to that. That's a smaller airplane, and it's quite late because that's going to be 3:19 p.m. Utah time. So that's 3 hours after Charlie got shot. That person is just leaving Santa Barbara. Passengers, don't know. Here are the passengers that we know came from Arizona and potentially Santa Barbara.
No, it says potential passengers.
Andrew Colvat's wife. We have a priest. We have Stacy Sheridan, who's the chief finance person. We have, fundraiser over there. We have Elizabeth McCoy, Mikey McCoy's the amazing.
How we got him to say potential? This is like, you all are crazy.
Mike McCoy's wife. We have Tyler Boyer, and we have Erika Kirk. There could be more people. We need to focus here. There's a fact that's not connecting for me when I look at this, a fact that I have about how things were running that day. And so if you have information, maybe you're at Turning Point USA.
Why would you already got the facts? Why would somebody send it to you? Help.
Boyer, and we have Erika Kirk. There could be more people. We need to focus here. There's a fact that's not connecting for me when I look at this, a fact that I have about how things were running that day. And so if you have information, maybe you're at Turning Point USA, at who left at what time, Turning Point headquarters. Elizabeth McCoy screamed. She grabbed her phone. She ran out. Mikey probably called her. That would make sense. And that's about 30 minutes away from the airport. If you have information inside of Turning Point USA headquarters as to who you heard, or maybe you watched an interview, there were tons of interviews that everybody was doing in the days following that were a part of the Turning Point USA apparatus, speaking about where they were, what time they got the call. Please send that at moretipsat.CandaceOwens.com. Now, our list of Turning Point lies is just getting longer every day. Yesterday, we talked about Brian Harpole, the security guy who was not convincing at all. And he basically said, we didn't have drones because looking at the roof.
So, what am I getting from this? I'm getting just misinformation. Information that's deemed misinformation is corrected over, and more misinformation is shot out of the same source. It's like, damn. Damn. How am I in right mind? Can a person get up here? Who is this, Lady Luck? Get up here and do this. I wonder if it's making sense to anybody else. I don't know. Let's see what Lady Luck is saying.
He hopped the railings, started
I might
wandering
do
around.
this with my son.
Was he dressed in the same clothing?
Similar. I don't remember enough to say whether it was.
And it was the same guy.
It was definitely the same guy those 2 times.
All this energy on potential passengers on flight lists, but not concerned about the fraudulent financial activity within her friend's organization. Be for real. Exactly. And it's starting to look like Charlie is complicit. And I think that's what they want to be quiet about, Turning Point and Candace, is the fact that Charlie is complicit in this, in these financial discrepancies. He's actually taking part in this. And if he's taking part, George is taking part. Candace is taking part. That's what they're afraid of. Candace doesn't want people worrying about the financial. Neither does Turning Point. They want to act. Turning Point wants to say, oh, they're attacking Mrs. Kirk. So the fuck what? Oh, Mrs. Kirk is untouchable. Candace is like, look over there, look over there. But Mrs. Kirk just became CEO. So that liability lies more on them over there, not her. You know, I don't know if she has any part in this as far as anything other than fake crying on my damn TV, all this WWF shit, World Wrestling Federation nonsense. You know, Candace is putting these people on the plane. Now, you said the plane was following Kirk. How is she on the plane too? No, y'all don't hear me.
Okay, so we were able to.
Ma'am, I got a question. I thought these planes was following Kirk. Now she on them. Now she on the list. So all this Egyptians on the plane. You come out with a potential. So now you blaming Erika Kirk because you saying those closest to him. Then you brought up these planes. Now you're saying Erika is on the plane. Who's she on the plane with? Meeting with the Egyptian? Or she just on the plane that's being on the tarmac? Or which plane, Candace?
Figure out who the student was. I don't know why CNN declined to publish his name, but I was going to figure out who the student was, and I'm going to chase down this lead, and I want to open up.
Hold up. Slow this down a little bit. Oh, that's her. That's her video.
That possibility, because it is a possibility that the stairwell photo and the footage that we have seen of the shooter was actually recorded before the assassination. Of course, that's a possibility in the absence of quite literally anything verifiable the feds have given us. Everything is therefore a possibility. So I want to also open this up because I don't want to just hear it from one student or CNN. I want to hear it from more students, right? That would be something that you would remember. We keep talking about what happened on 9/10. What about in the days leading up to 9/10? What about 9/6, right? 9/7, 9/8, 9/9. If you are a student and you saw someone up on the rooftop in the days or in the week leading up to the assassination,
you should contact the FBI.
You should contact the FBI, not Candace. Press 1, not Candace Owens. You should contact the FBI. Hit that like button and subscribe. Good way to put that, sister. Do not send nothing to her.
And the prosecutor, not Candace Owens. She's not an attorney. She did not go to law school.
Get her.
She cannot prosecute this case.
Get her.
And she certainly will not turn over any evidence that she has to prove that it was not Tyler Robertson either.
Get her. She got all the evidence to take it away from her and George.
Because she claimed last month that she had that. So giving it to Candace Owens is not going to get you anywhere. It's going to get you doxxed, by the way.
Yep. And she going to be like, this the address. Press 1 and the feds is coming. Candace is cold piece of work, bruh. She's a cold, vile human being. I thought the homies in the hood, listen to me, all 150 of y'all in the bungalows. Press 1. I thought my homies, shout out to them who watch my program, they see the growth. I thought our low life happened. I thought I ran into some niggas in the hood. I realized we just wasn't given a chance. Damn, these people up here that was given a chance are ruthless. You think you made it out the hood? Grown a little bit? You thought you seen the worst of Shaniqua. That's one. Pookie and Ray Ray at its finest. You done moved up. And you run into your new neighbor, Candace fucking Owens, who's just asking you about home insurance and if you got Hey, how are ya? This is George. Press 1. Hold up. Whole time, they plotting and scheming and shit, trying to steal your mail out your mailbox. Hit the like button and subscribe. Damn. Man. Just when you think you moved on, you was on the up and up. Damn, you run into some more niggas with perms. Press 1. That's why I love being around my people. Because as soon as you get away from them, black people taught me this. This is why I love being an urban conservative. I never sell out. Because it's like, we all we got. You know what I'm saying? And I'd rather deal with the shit family and the bullshit ass niggas we got and working with and we know than some old Pentagon babies that's just, they worse. And they were given the opportunity. You feel me? Given the opportunity. Born and raised around these folks. They just worse.
It's going to get you doxxed. Just as an FYI, you will get doxxed. It certainly won't get you anything else. I suggest that if you are enrolled in UVU, in University of Utah Valley, go to school and focus on your class so that if you decide you want to be journalist, who majored in English and journalism, you can actually show proof of your 2 degrees and actually get work doing something you love to do.
Wow.
And you're not having to wing it and do dumb stuff like what Candace is doing with conspiracy theories. Please stay in school and get your education.
You know it's cold when black people
don't sit here and entertain her nonsense. The last thing you all need in college is somebody like Candace Owens with these fake wannabe mommy sleuth impersonating CIA agents trying to track you down and
she got your ass figured out, Candace. This hard aunties and shit. When we about to go to white schools and shit, they prep us for this shit. Don't you go down here and get the fucking this scholarship up. What? Don't be like Marcus, like your brother. Whoo, I love these speeches. Have us all up in there like, all right, watch out for people like her.
Harass and stalk and threaten and bully you.
You're going to end up on the professor list.
And dox you.
Facts.
Because you thought you were helping. And that information should really be going to the FBI.
Facts.
Just uphold the rule of law and send it to the FBI.
That's right.
Send it to the prosecutor's office yourself. If you don't want to trust the FBI, send it straight to the prosecutor. But don't give it to Candace Owens. She has no power. she can do nothing with that information. And putting it out there can create more bias in this case, and it will sully the jury pool. Do you want the bad guy off the street or not? And until she tells us who the other bad guy is,
facts,
and show us evidence that it's someone else outside of Tyler Robinson, giving it to her will be null and void.
Facts. For what?
Focus on your classes.
And we want to hear from you. More tips at CandaceOwens.com, because every time I try to chase down the leads regarding the rooftop, I am brought to a military person, and I just don't know that any of that actually took place on the day. And I think that's why they won't release any more footage. There should be multiple angles, right? If this all happened on 9/10, there would have been multiple angles, and they sure as hell would have released it in the middle of a manhunt. When you thought that he could kill other people, you would have released more footage. And they're not doing that, which means they're hiding something. And that's something that they could be.
No, they're not doing that because there are federal rules when it comes to releasing evidence
I told you, Candace.
related to a federal investigation, you dumbass girl. They're not going to do that, Candace. You're not getting it. How bad do you want this case to be thrown out?
Facts.
We all know you don't care about it.
Facts. My thing is, why?
You go kick rock somewhere else while the rest of us who do care about it can at least see this go to trial. They won't even be able to get an impartial jury selection at this point.
Right.
Because she's coming out here with all this nonsense because she doesn't care about anything but what she cares about.
Right.
Well, her selfish ass. Candace, you're selfish.
Selfish and vile.
And you're a narcissist.
And a narcissist.
You're only worried about what you think and what you want.
Facts.
And no one else. Not Charlie. You think Charlie would want you to do this?
Nope.
You keep attacking his pastor.
Right.
You keep attacking his finances with his company.
And then you know what else she did, girl? She put his wife on a plane.
You don't know what endowment means? Or that the IRS can give a second extension?
And she didn't even know that the text messages, perhaps why. She thought it was still off. She thought it was on Discord when there were text messages.
You looked up none of that information. You know, we all should just do a interview with college students and just upload it online to YouTube. See how that goes. That's gonna be funny. Oh yeah. We can make a whole parody out of that. Everybody should do it. Everybody should just do these fake college interviews and sit here and talk about things. You know, I saw a guy who was wearing, you know, a Dr. Seuss hat. You wouldn't believe it. He was jumping around like a cat on the buildings. It was like Catwoman, except it was a man and he had an actual long furry tail. And he got up on that roof. I looked up and I saw him on the roof. And then he looked down and then he looked up and then he saw the moon and then he howled at it. It was a moon howler, I tell you. I tell you it was a moon howler. And then he jumped down with all this prowess, skill, and strength. And then he came and leapt off the 50-foot building. And then he ran across the parking lot.
That's how her stories are.
He did it in 6 steps. You wouldn't believe it, like a lion. And I knew I had to sit down and talk about this because Candace Owens really wants this information.
Hiding could be nothing. It could be nothing that happened on that rooftop. Also, want to add on here that regarding the...
Oh, she's saying, what if the thing on the rooftop happened prior?
White RAV4. We got a lot of emails from the public that have noted that there appears to be what might be a RAV4 in every available footage that we have been provided by of the shooter. So we've only seen 4 pieces of footage of the alleged shooter. One, of course, of him walking in front of, I think this was the house that Phil Lyman was at. Yes, that's what we just discussed. That sure as heck could be a white RAV4. The second piece of footage being the TMZ released footage of somebody else in the neighborhood of him walking. Yep, that sure as heck could also be a RAV4. Footage number 3 is the footage of the alleged shooter pulling out in the parking lot, which was provided by Ryan Matta, that he chased down. Yep, that also could be a RAV4.
She acts like no one else has a RAV4. What you're not honing in on are the license plates, because you're not, Candace. Is it? I mean, how far out of reality are these candy ass cult brainless followers willing to go here? Do you understand that RAV4s sell across the U.S.?
Like a mug. They're probably one of the most selling cars. My thing is, only RAV4 is the one sitting right there in the parking lot. It ain't actually going nowhere. So that this is weird that she does this.
Millions of people are driving that car. Even if it's the same car, you can't get the license plate.
The cool thing about it is, she brings up not just the RAV4, she brings up that the cars wasn't a white RAV4 at all. The car that was following him was a black SUV. She brings up. And she had to correct that. That's weird.
Tops because I wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, that's weird that she keeps having to do this.
So you have no way to verify it because that's common sense. You can't make this up. You can't. No, the people gonna be watching. Man,
Candace gonna get people hurt.
First thing the prosecution and defense are gonna be asking: have you all seen Candace Owens videos? Half the room will put their arms up in the air. They won't even be able to get a good impartial jury at this rate. You can't make this up. Yeah, everybody should troll Candace with these parody college interview skit type of videos. Yeah, that'd be funny.
And also, of course, the footage where he allegedly jumps off the rooftop. Many of you said it looked like there was a RAV4 pulling up. Look, yes, all of it's possible. Is it also possible that this is just a coincidence?
But yes. They didn't pick him up. Why would they not pick him up? Hold on. Because common sense. This car is driving past. Why would this car drive past but not pick him up? It would be different if he got in the car. He doesn't even get near the car.
Just naming.
So the car just drives off and drives around and what? I mean, what the hell? If you're going to go stupid, then you might as well go all the way there. Why wouldn't he just, pull up to the car? I don't understand this. You mean to tell me at the time people got shot, Charlie Kirk got shot, people weren't running away towards their cars to leave? Because that's where this traffic is coming from. This is after Charlie Kirk was shot. He ran down, got off the building. Imagine this now. Simultaneously, what's happening is people are still running from that area. There was 3,000 people estimated there?
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't even believe it at all. I don't believe none of that shit at all because as I was observing today, I'm realizing, right, a lot. I'm realizing a lot in these photos, right? You notice that all of the vehicles in these things here, the vehicles that are all turned backward and facing forward, none of them have license plates, y'all. Look on that row right there. None of the vehicles got license plates. Now, we all know you have license plates on the front of your car. This is why I don't believe this shit anyway. I don't even like this shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, okay, we're going to get to the bottom who lined this shit up. None of those cars got even license plates on them. They just there. And if I can see these license plates, I will be able to see those. I can see the license plates on the sides of those cars. Give you something to think about when you're looking at this shit. Man.
Let's say half of them were not even
right?
When you put private information up about an individual that can become that we revealed the rental that these Egyptian military planes were tracking Charlie Kirk and Erika Kirk for
this is yesterday.
Years. What can we do to help? Gosh, we're right next door to them. they did file it on Saturday and maybe it's being processed, it would have been late beginning yesterday when we covered it. So I just wanted to update you guys on that. And of course, we will keep refreshing the IRS website and see whether or not that filing came through, since the whole world wants to see it.
That's weird.
Anyways, back to our Zionist friends. Israeli and American Zionists are deeply bothered about the Egyptian plane.
Okay.
They're not concerned in the way that you think they would be. You would think that they would be, oh my gosh, thank you, Candace. We love Charlie so much. We're very concerned to learn that these Egyptian military planes were tracking Charlie Kirk and Erika Kirk for years. What can we do to help? Gosh, we're right next door to them. We did a lot to Egypt. We actually control a lot and we surveil a lot in that state. Let us help you. Rather, their concern is that we revealed the rental license plates. These are real tweets from some Zionists. We've got Eyal Yacobi, who writes, "This is what doxing looks like. These are unparalleled levels of insanity. This is truly dangerous." Oh, it's dangerous. So
Yes.
basically what doxing is, if you're not familiar with that.
So you're just putting out license plates and telling people be on the lookout. And what we say, you're going to get somebody hurt.
Term is, it's when you put private information up about an individual that can become identifiable. So like if I published your private address
Yes, Candace.
and somebody could go to your home and harm you.
Yes, Candace.
That's what they're accusing me of. Erin Wexler. Now this is the girl that was at the now infamous Hamptons retreat. She wrote this, back that up. Candace started her career by doxing teenagers.
Yeah.
Old habits die hard. That is just so weird. I just thought the Hamptons people would be on this Egyptian thing, trying to help as best they could. But they're actually more concerned for these Egyptians who are renting a car. And therefore, since they don't even go here.
Wait. You're crazy. Crazy.
Like, why would this be identifying information? Are you concerned for like Hertz? Rent a car? What are you concerned about here? We're not clear. Now, going back to what we've learned about this flight thus far, I want to remind you that we have confirmed that this was a full flight over to Utah. This Egyptian flight, and I'm referring to BTT, SU-BTT, landed into Utah 6 days before Charlie Kirk's assassination. So we are looking at anywhere between 12 to 14 quote unquote Egyptians that were on this flight and deplaned on September 4th. Okay. A high government source actually reached out and made me aware. And this is stunning, actually, that we missed this common sense. I should have figured this out all by myself. But there is such a thing as federal protocol. They told me, this person in the State Department confirmed that a foreign military jet actually can't just land on American soil without the federal government paying attention.
Yes,
it actually
Candace.
requires a federal escort.
Right, Candace. So all that, an Egyptian plane just came and landed and stayed on the tarmac. The feds say, Candace, stop playing. That will take federal escorts, ma'am. She's like, aha. I knew it was something. Let me go live on this. Aha. You're right.
Okay. Again, common sense. I don't know how we didn't think of this ourselves. Of course, if you're a military jet, you can't just fly into a foreign land and hop off the jet.
See how she clear up lies? See how she clear them up? Oh, shit, I forgot all about this shit. Oh, shit. Thank you. You can't just,
and be like, okay, bye. Just going to do whatever I want. Of course, they're going to go, hi, are we starting a war here? What's going on? So this person tells me that, of course, that cannot happen. The government is immediately aware that this military equipped plane is coming in and an escort is provided because they want to know where they are going, what they are doing.
Right.
So the question now is, and maybe Kash Patel can help us answer this, just kidding, we know he won't, who were the federal agents that escorted these Egyptians off the plane?
Ma'am, you just put Erika, and everybody on the damn plane.
Okay? Because they didn't just disappear into the ether. You guys knew they were coming in, and you watched them, and you knew what they were doing in Provo. And by the way, while we're checking in,
what were they doing, Candace? Now she don't put people on the plane that's not even Egyptian.
on these unanswered questions, has Turning Point mustered the courage to answer my yes or no, circle yes or circle no, as to whether or not these Egyptian jets were known to Charlie?
Ma'am, did she come out today and say, oh, they were following Erika, right? They were following Erika. Oh, not just Charlie. There was Charlie. It's 68 times. Now, today, on her live, she put Erika on the damn plane to Provo. I didn't even know what the fuck Provo was. Now Erika's plane. Now she put Erika on the plane as potential passengers. Incredible. And fucking incredible.
Because like I said yesterday, it is highly plausible, highly likely that they were. He had a photographic memory and he loved planes. He
following Erika, but Charlie would have known the plane. Press 1. That sounds insane. These are the same planes you said was following Charlie and then double back and said Erika, military. But wait, they can't even do that because the feds and the military will be all over that. Oh my goodness. Now we got to put Erika on the damn plane. Fuck it. Just say she was on the plane. Because that plane went to Provo. We can get Erika on the plane. Candace got right up here and took 4 Egyptians out the equation in the military plane and turned it into Turning Points and Erika's private Boeing 7, whatever. Press 1.
loved learning about military planes. He would have recognized that was circling around him
and
a few times.
She don't even know. She just, I told you she sound like somebody I know. They just keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going. You're like, wait a minute. They don't care. They cancel that and just keep going.
While he was on the road and circling around Erika. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make it very clear. Yes, this is a conspiracy. It is a federal level conspiracy. It is likely an international conspiracy. Multiple countries seem to be involved. And I really hate to upset the...
Wow. From Israel to Israel to Egypt? Damn. To the federal government, to President Trump. Damn.
The Zionist crowd any further.
The Zionists.
I know I'm like your fave.
Black people.
But we now have identified a 5th verified rental plate that we can now add to the Egyptian mix. So that's it.
Wait. Now we got 4. We got planes that turn out to be Erika. Now we got an extra motherfucking SUV.
A total of 5 rental cars.
Yeah, that was all Charlie's friends. So if Charlie's friends set them up and they on the tarmac in the plane using surveillance satellite phones and shit, that's what people hear. All the shit she's saying, that sums up what the fuck everybody heard. Okay.
That were rented by Duncan Aviation that we can review. Also want to thank the many of you who emailed us yesterday and informed me that I apparently do not know the difference between the letter N and the number 9. I think I just was saying 9 or N every time I was reading these plates, which means I'm probably not qualified to be homeschooling my toddlers. Anyways, I was mixing that up. I'm not going to mix it up now. These are our 5 plates as follows. A white 2025 Toyota Camry. This had an Arizona license plate, and that number is CWN, like Nancy, 9872. Okay. Our second plate is a silver 2025 Toyota RAV4. That is a Utah license plate, and that number is TZ 092ZS. Okay. Third vehicle that we have here is a white 2023 Toyota RAV4, another Utah license plate. The number is T912KM.
And what's the point of these license plates?
And we have a black 2025 Toyota 4Runner, Utah license plate, and that plate is Z923DA. And we can now present to you guys a fifth car,
You gotta be
which we know was rented. That is a gray or silver 2025 Toyota 4Runner, Utah license plate number Z349AA. 5 vehicles which were secured by Duncan Aviation. Now, since I wasn't born yesterday, I feel pretty confident concluding that these 12 to 14 Egyptians didn't drop into Provo, Utah in the 6 days leading up to Charlie Kirk's assassination to fix like a broken light on the plane. Okay. Again, my source there is me not being born yesterday. It's just not how it works. You cannot just get something very quickly fixed in a couple of days and be on your way. And like I said, they weren't even on the plane on the way out. They waited for that anchor plane, SUBND, the other Egyptian military plane, to take them back home. So what are we looking at here? What exactly were these Egyptians with the federal escorts doing on the day of Charlie Kirk's assassination? Well, in terms of some potentially interesting leads, many of you guys actually noted to us that the cars that were in the driveway in the now infamous footage of the alleged shooter, right, which was somehow distributed by TMZ, we don't know how that happened, should probably be investigated further because that's a lot of cars in the driveway. And obviously every image that we have is blurred. Okay, it seems like we just can't get a clear image.
Ma'am, that's a lot of cars in the driveway.
At all in this story. And so we cannot, it's impossible to discern anything, but it's therefore possible that some of those cars that we are looking at could be the rented vehicles, right? Maybe the one parked on the right there is the Toyota RAV4, maybe the two that look similar, one that's
this is pathetic.
Dark, one that's lighter. Could that be the gray and the black 4Runner? I don't know, but that could be compelling. That would be something that a RAV4. And also, of course, the footage where he allegedly jumps off. Next up, we have Blake Neff. Obviously, you guys will recall that vibe. I think he believes what he's saying. And like I said, he is telling the truth as far as I can tell. Vibe check, right?
Yeah, I'm out of there. This is wild. This is wild. In fact, I'm going to do some more research on these companies. Candace's Blexit is 15 minutes away from the situation of planes and all of these planes that's going to Scottsdale. She took the planes and brought up the Egyptians. That's not working out or conveying too well. She said that the Jews blamed the Egyptians like they did USS Liberty, and the Jews didn't even mention motherfucking Egypt. She did. So she projected what she did onto Israeli government. So that's a habit of her. She does this. She does things and then blame somebody else. For all that I know, I haven't seen nobody do this ever. Candace and her husband, George Farmer, could have been doing bad business with Charlie Kirk. It's the only reason I see that she's doing this. She's doing a lot of crazy stuff, and this is by far one of the craziest things I've ever seen on YouTube. One of the craziest things is to start a documentary style series about your friend who's nearly decapitated live on damn TV, and then you blaming everybody as if you wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So we going I'm gonna do a little bit more research on this and come back tomorrow with some more. And I just really need them to keep talking because I love talking about this. But I understand it's late. It's 1 o'clock East Coast time. It's late here in California. Thank you for that Cash App. Who was that? Fly Gemini. Shout out to you with that contribution. DNS Brands. He say he support the broadcast. Marley supports G14 Classified. Shout out to y'all who contributed to this page tonight. But yeah, we got to start asking real questions, Candace. How do you know all this? And to tell you the truth, it seems to me that Candace wrote that letter to herself as if she wasn't her. And so all that reading she was doing was really her talking about it. That was wild, wasn't it? That's wild. That's a new form of crazy. This shit right here, look.
Delaware. I tried to pull non-public movement data and it came up empty. For me, this means that the arrival was processed under a diplomatic and dignitary category, which would not show up in the usual places. That in and of itself wouldn't be odd if we were talking about Andrews or Dulles airports. It's odd at Wilmington. You can't verify this next piece directly, but I can independently. I can confirm that blank uses vehicles which often leave and enter that airport when they do covert handoffs. Now, I have no affiliation.
Who is blank uses that? Who is blank? Who is blank? Who is blank?
With SUBTT, nor am I an operator anywhere near Egypt or its planes, but I do know that only federal vehicles are allowed access to private gates housing government planes. Because of this, I can guarantee you that the vehicles affiliated with this workspace arrived and left inside the same window as SUBTT. Government vehicles either pick up, monitor, or escort every government plane that lands there. So that's the standard. It's every single one. Feds don't just leave foreign government planes unwatched. It's a government plane, not a ghost plane. Someone has to come out, and we all know they're not going to just call an Uber. Given that I know most of the locations that these vehicles...
So she doubles back and corrects that the military would have picked that plane up. So instead of looking like a fucking liar, she doubles back, and a person wrote her a letter that confirms without the military, this is how it will be done. She gets on the air and read this unanimous letter because she hates to be wrong. She's a narcissist. She don't like to grow. And verifies it itself, him or she, because whoever knows. That's insane. That in itself is screaming. I'm hiding something big.
Visit, I am entirely confident in stating that the plane and those vehicles are connected to 920 North King Street, which is at a place that is marketed also as 1 Rodney Square.
Okay, so how did the hell did we get to the potential from the planes to the cars, and you got more proof and all this? How did we get here?
Passengers don't know. Here are the passengers that we know came from Arizona and
potential passengers. Press 1.
And potentially Santa Barbara Andrew Colvet's wife. We have a priest. We have Stacey Sheridan, who's the chief finance person. We have, fundraiser over there. We have Elizabeth McCoy, the amazing Mikey McCoy's wife. We have Tyler Boyer, and we have Erika Kirk. There could be more people. We need to focus here. There's a fact that's not connecting for me when I look at this, a fact that I have about how things were running that day. And so if you have information.
That didn't make sense. That's a fact. Something doesn't look, I don't know, for me.
Maybe you're at Turning Point USA, at Ontology interview that he did, his last interview. And then after he gets shot, which makes sense, somebody sent it directly. I'm assuming this might have been what Mikey McCoy coordinated, sent it straight to Scottsdale. And I would like to know who specifically got onto this plane. And then they land into Provo at 3:31 p.m.
See how she's like, I'm trying to figure out. Then she lays down who was on the plane.
The last plane that we have here is one that departed Santa Barbara at 2:19 p.m.
That's
local.
wild.
That's actually quite late. I want to draw your attention to that. That's a smaller Boyer, and we have Erika Kirk. There could be more people. We need to focus here. There's a fact that's not connecting.
And that is accusing the friends and the wife of some egregious shit that her audience has already believed. So, remember that little black kid who said he did his crime because he was influenced by Candace Owens? I understand that. Remember that, what was that, a school shooting? The little black kid, and we was trying to figure out, where did he get this white nationalistic mind state from? From Candace Owens. Candace influences people, and they're on campuses influencing youth, high schools, colleges, and that's inciting a school shooting. And if the child is telling you, the young man, and said, I was influenced by Candace Owens, we should have paid that some more attention, because she's blasting this white nationalistic nonsense and now conspiracy. So people like that young man can go, what? Harm people. That's like a small army, huh? Ain't that like a hidden army? Same as Turning Point. Exactly. Blexit, which is Brexit, the black Brexit, Blexit, Turning Point, they're all doing the same thing. And that's what we got to investigate. What is this that they're doing? Who's profiting off of this? We have to stay consistent and follow the money. See, because Candace will lead us all over the place, but not to her. TPUSA will lead us all over the place in defending Mrs. Kirk. It sounds like they just pity pat. You did it. No, you bet not. That's against Jesus. They just going back and forth in some petty Christian Catholic war that they have going on. I'm more interested on who stands to gain, where the money coming from. Press one. Psychological programming, yeah, to those who ain't paying attention, to those stuck in her storyline. If you're stuck in a storyline, you're exhibiting things from a psychological standpoint that she's manipulated you somewhere in your neurological base. I'm more focused on that, who's financing this subversion. Press one. Because I think that's what everything is being covered up. They're authorizing the use of deadly force against Antifa and people like that. So a lot of people are afraid, big time. And Candace is like, what are you going to do? Hurt us? I don't know, Candace. You tell us. So, yeah, she lying. She's straight lying. But there's more. Why are they lying so much? Why? And it's to cover their own asses. So what are they hiding? What was Charlie and them hiding? Where were they getting this money from? I told you this was Epstein's and the traffickers' laundering scheme, political power. Now it's time to dive in. KevRow, Urban Conservative, all my bloggers, step that shit up. Coffee and Kush TV. I love y'all. I'll see y'all first thing in the morning. And as always, family, I'll holla.